Hey family, and welcome back for yet another furniture makeover. I'm super excited about this one on today, but before we get into all of that, I wanted to say thank you all for helping me reach 8,000 subscribers. I'm super excited. That's a huge milestone. I feel like the last upload I was sitting at around 6K and some change. I could be wrong, but that's just what I remember. And that is tremendous growth for me. So I appreciate you all. And if you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. My name is Ebony. I am a 33-year-old wife, mom, and I'm trying to transition back into becoming a full-time furniture flipper. Now, I will say for me, motherhood still feels very new, but I don't know if I can use the term new mom anymore because it's been about a year and a half. And so I'm dealing with the toddler stage and it is a lot, but I am trying to just find balance and get back into it. So if that encourages you, if you're in my shoes, if you've ever been in my shoes, I encourage you to subscribe and just follow along on the journey. I believe that we'll have a lot in common and I just want to build community. So with all of that being said, let's jump right into this furniture makeover. Okay, so for the most part, I typically always do the same process. I always start by removing the hardware first. Now in this clip, you will see that I'm removing the door hinges, and these can be very tricky to reassemble. So I've learned a technique that I think will help some of you watching. You want to number and label everything. Left door, right door, top screw, middle screw, bottom screw. Everything needs to be labeled, and then I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag. And speaking from the future tense, this was the smoothest reassembling of doors that I've ever experienced. So I encourage you, label your screws. Now I'm going to remove this detailing on the front drawer, and I had to pry that off with a flathead screwdriver. And then I'm going to also remove the detailing on the doors. Now I already can sense that someone's going to tell me I ruined the dresser, I'm removing the character, why would you paint that, all of those comments. Let me just tell you this now, I love to use paint. I'm not much of a restorer, so when it comes to furniture makeovers, paint will be involved. And if that's not your thing, unfortunately, this might not be the best channel for you. So with that being said, let me explain the technique that I'm going to be doing on today. Now, I've seen it done several times, but I've always wanted to try pole wrap and I've just never gotten around to it. And I finally took a step and ordered it. However, this was much too short. Well, it wasn't much too short, but it was one drawer shy of enough product, which also left me no room to make any mistakes. So I had to send that back to Home Depot, but that's on me. Measuring is my kryptonite, so I didn't do the math correctly. But I ordered something different on Amazon, and in the meantime, we're just going to do all of the prep work. All right, so moving on to the cleaning process. Today I'll be using Dawn soap and warm water. I typically switch things up. Sometimes I'll use a TSP substitute, but Dawn is something I think many of us already have on hand. It's super affordable and it's just an easy grab. Okay, so you do have to come back and rinse it with just plain water when you're done to make sure you've gotten all of that soap residue off, but it gets the job done. And let me also just interject. This weather has been trying my entire life. One day I'm out here just sneezing uncontrollably, and then the next day I'm sweating profusely and I'm parched, all of the things. And this year I'm making it my mission to drink more water and just to make sure I'm staying hydrated, which is why I'm super excited to be collaborating with Epic Water Filters on today. And they sent over their Smart Shield Undersink Filtration System Direct Connect. This system produces over 650 gallons of filtered water, and shout out to my husband for helping me with the installation process. It didn't take long at all. It was super DIY friendly, and this filter eliminates about 9 toxins, including lead, chlorine, mercury, pesticides, and more. And that just gives me so much excitement, and I feel like I'm set up for success on my new hydration journey. And if you would like to order from them, make sure you use my code BeautyFromNeglect15 for 15% off of your purchase. Okay, so jumping right back into this makeover, I needed to clean the bottom of the dresser. This is a step you don't want to forget because as you can see, there were spiders living under here. One of them was still alive, okay? And so I'm so afraid of spiders, but I used my shop vac and I took care of all of that. And then I had to remove this base, which I am going to replace later. But future me forgot to record that, okay? So it is replaced, but I just didn't capture that, but it was super simple. I just got a 2x4, not a two, what? I got a little board from Home Depot and it just worked, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my hardware holes. And let me just explain something that some people may not think about, but I want to give you guys all of my tips and tricks, okay? So you can see there's a single hole right in the center of all 3 top drawers. Now, I'm going to be using a knob on my when I do the makeover, which I already know at this present moment of doing this, but I wanted to put a knob on the left and right side of the drawer. It was just more of an aesthetic thing, but I will say that costed me about another 30 bucks, I think. I can't remember exactly, between $25 and $30, because the hardware that I particularly wanted only came in a pack of 10, which would have been perfectly enough. But because I did it this way, I was short 2 extra knobs. I could be saying the math wrong because I don't remember off the top of my head. But long story short, I would have been able to get away with buying 1 pack of hardware, but because I did it that way, I had to buy 2. So if you're trying to be cost effective, consider those things when you're plugging your hardware holes. But again, if I could go back in time, I would have done the same exact thing. So I don't have any regrets. But I just like a word to the wise, if you're trying to cut costs, that's just something to consider. I hope I was clear when I tried to explain that. But now I'm just going to go ahead and scuff sand everything. I'm going to sand back that Bondo. And then also, just so you know, I like to use a 120 grit sandpaper when I do all of my scuff sanding. But now, the moment of truth. I ordered the new product and it has arrived. And I'll link it down below in case you want to try it for yourself. I got this on Amazon. It was a bit more pricey. So the last piece that I showed you, that little piece, was $50, okay? And I was trying to be cheap. That's why I bought that in the first place. This was $70, but it's enough for 2 or 3 projects depending on how you use it. So I am going to be using the leftover on another upcoming project, but it was worth it in the long term. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, like I said before, measuring is my kryptonite, so I suck at this. And it's not even like I can measure inches. It's those 1/4 inch lines in between all of those little, and I have a specific measuring tape that like tells me what those lines mean, okay? But measuring is just something I just never been good at, okay? So I'm going to measure it with a little bit extra to give myself some grace in case I'm off. I would rather have more than to have less. You guys get it, okay? So I measured more than once and then I cut, and I did have some assistance with that first cut because I had to pull out my miter saw, and this is kind of what it's looking like. So from there, I had to do a lot of filing down because I over measured, but I think it worked out because that first cut was a little zigzaggy, like it wasn't a clean cut, and that's my fault. I forgot to put the painter's tape around the pole wrap before I made that slice, and it was just a lot of back and forth, cutting, sanding, measuring, cutting, sanding, measuring. This went on for like 2.5 days, okay? And some of the poles had to be split in half, so you'll kind of see some of the techniques I use as time goes on, but at this present time, I was just using the miter saw and my electric sander. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, and at this point in time, I'm very pleased. But we gotta keep going. So the second day, I realized that I could just cut it with scissors, and this was game changing for me. I would still encourage you to use your saw if you have one for that first cut, but everything in between, I would encourage scissors, X-Acto knife, blade, whatever you have. I have a blade here. I didn't really have the knife for it. I couldn't find it. So this was a little dangerous, but I didn't get hurt or cut or anything, I don't think. I don't know, it was so long ago at this point, I don't even remember. But yeah, so I'm just gonna cut with the scissors. The doors were the easiest to do because it was such a large space to work with. And this is that next cut that I'm doing here. I remember to use my painter's tape. That came out so much better when I did it that way. And again, this went on for some time. So we're gonna speed the process up and I'll just kind of explain what I do next. All right, so now it's time to attach all of the pole wrap. I'm going to be using Tight Bond wood glue and a disposable brush from the dollar store. And then I'm really going to put this on liberally and lay it down. Simple, to the point. Okay, so now this is where things took a turn for the worst. Now, I'm doing this because this is what I've seen everyone else do. I probably wouldn't do this again this way if I were to go back in time. But what I'm doing is I'm putting brad nails every other stick. And this just kind of threw me off because it was creating such an indentation. It wasn't just a little dot, it was like a crack. It was like kind of ruining everything I had just worked so hard to do. And then I thought about it like the next day, like, because like it kept me up at night. And I said to myself, I should have been nailing this in from the inside of the drawer, and we wouldn't even have this problem. There would be nothing to repair, nothing. It would be flawless, seamless, everything that I was aiming for. But unfortunately, I didn't think about that, and it was just a disaster. And so going forward, I went ahead and plugged it up with wood filler because I thought that was going to be a perfect solution to the problem. That's what I seen everybody else do. They put the nails in, they put the wood filler on top, and everything is perfect. And this just didn't meet my expectation. It was way below my standards. I like things to look factory finish, and it wasn't giving that. And I did everything I could think of. But again, if I can do this again, or if I were to do this, if I ever do this again, because this was so trying on my patience, I don't know if I can stomach to do this again. But if I do, I'll be nailing it in from the inside if I even decide to use nails. I truly do believe that the wood glue was strong enough on its own, but I didn't want to take the chance and be an experiment. So that's everything in a nutshell, but here I am showing you guys what it's looking like with the wood filler. It's really not giving justice on camera, like how poorly this looks, but I don't think it looks good at this present moment. All right, so the next step is to drill my hardware holes, and I think it's so ironic because I've been telling you all how much I dislike measuring things and it's my kryptonite, yada yada. But when it comes to measuring hardware holes, it's actually my preference to measure everything by hand. I know they make devices that simplify this process, but I'm just going to use a good old-fashioned measuring tape and a calculator. So with that being said, I wanted to take a quick moment to give credit where credit is due. I have seen many people do pole wrap makeovers on YouTube, on Instagram, really everywhere. But I was inspired specifically from the Curated Addict. Shout out to you, girl, because you do phenomenal work. If you don't follow her on Instagram, go ahead and follow her. And all of her pieces have some form of pole wrap signature stamp on it. And I think that is so beautiful. And I was trying to kind of like see if I could get the vibes, but I'm gonna let you have this, girl, because this was a lot, okay? But again, your work is stunning. If you guys don't follow her on Instagram, follow her at the Curated Addict, okay? All right. All right, and yet another step that I'm not sure if I would do if I were to go back in time. I feel like this was messy. I don't think it was completely necessary, but I am going to caulk the edges because, again, I really am always striving for a factory finish. I want things to look machine made, like, I don't know, but this stressed me out as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Okay, so we finally made it to primer. It has never taken me this long to get to this step. Y'all, pray for me. So when it comes to primer though, I like to use Zen Bench lac-based primer, and I go back and forth between a roller and a spray gun. I just thought it would be easier to use the spray gun today because if I were to use a roller, you would have to kind of get that texture off, and I didn't want texture on the pole wrap area. I thought this would just make it easier, but I'm gonna encourage you, if you are new to furniture flipping, I would encourage you not to use a sprayer. It becomes really messy and difficult to clean out. This product alone is just messy. So a roller would be my encouragement to you, but I don't know. You can do it what you will with that advice, but that's just my advice. But let me explain what happened here. Okay, so I was so bothered by the imperfections that I thought I could bundle them away. And this took a good maybe another 3 days, and my fingers were numb and my fingerprints were missing, and it was a lot going on. And this is a lot of just perfectionism in my own head. Probably wasn't even necessary. So I don't encourage you to do it, and that's why I didn't really show you like the full step-by-step process of that, because I only want to really show you what's beneficial to you. So ignore that. Don't do that, okay? And now I'm ready to paint. I'm using a beautiful Dunn Edwards color. Actually, this might be my favorite color I've used to date. And I've been flipping furniture since 2020. So that says a lot. I think it's a stunning color. I can't wait to find a new flip to do it again, use it again. But I'll put the color on the screen because I don't have it right in front of me and I can't leave the room or else my daughter will see me and then this whole thing will be over. Okay, we're so close to the finish line though. I'm gonna paint everything, sand in between coats, and we're nearing the end. So keep watching. Okay, I just want to end this video with a few closing remarks. First of all, if you made it this far, thank you so much for your support. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and be sure to share. Also, follow me on Instagram at BeautyFromNeglect, and then don't forget to check out Epic Water Filters. They also sell pitchers that you can keep in your refrigerator. They have water bottles that you can take with you anywhere. You can even filter stream water. So if you go camping, you take that bottle, you put it in the lake, you have filtered water. Okay, so check out their site and use my code BeautyFromNeglect15. And then I am going to, add my scripture and my thank you card to my dresser. There's also a little surprise on the inside of the doors that you'll see in just a second as you keep watching. I'm going to give you guys the before to remind you of where we started and how far we've come. But yes, girl, I am so excited. I love this makeover. And if you want to somehow be a blessing to my business and to my endeavors to keep going, I also have an Amazon wish list. I'll link that down below. But more than anything, I could just use your prayers. And I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. I'll see you in my next one. And thanks for watching. Bye.